Hey, Trish. Such a pretty theme song, isn't it? Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, officially checking in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this radio show right here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis and Chicago, as well as WRLNradio.com, a radio media station. Welcome to Bedtime Stories. Hello to Trish and also to my son, James Solomon Smith III. Condolences go out to you and to your mom. Your mom, she was cute. That's only one way I can explain it. She was cute. You know, I really appreciate spending time with her when she was still here in Chicago. Anyway, like we did last night, we celebrate the life of DJ Corey Mitchell, who made his transition, as well as the other DJs who have made their transitions as well. So, with that in mind, coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female, and that comes up in our last hour here of Bedtime Stories, as we kick it off with the Amusement Park Band, or APB, who used to be the backup group also for Tyrone Davis as well. And of course, one of the gentlemen in that group wrote the songs Shining Star and In the Mood for Tyrone Davis. Here's No on Bedtime Stories. To happen as a moment like this. I didn't really want to say that your mom hit on me when I heard you was here. I said she was so cute. She was liking me, and I liked her too. But She was so cute. Yeah. Yeah, I missed her. She was yeah, she was cute. She was cute as she wanted to be. Anyway, how are you, son? Good to see you on my live. I'm surprised to see you on my live. Thank you. I really appreciate that. What's my phone doing? It's doing a thing. It's doing a thing, a thing. Mm-mm. Well, yeah, she definitely liked me. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. And I thought it was cute too, you know. I really I thought it was just precious. You and she always, she would always ask about me, and you would tell me that she was asking about me. But yeah, I thought that was really nice. You know, that she thought I was attractive. Anyway, it's been a minute. I'm definitely coming up there next month to pay you a visit. It's definitely about time. Yeah, it's definitely about time, son. Definitely about time. Yeah. Come on home. Come on home. I know they always ask me how many kids I have. I'm like, I lost count of how many people call me daddy, pops, uncle, um, papa. Yeah, all over. Wherever I go, somebody's gonna say, "Hey, Uncle Al." You know, and I feel good about that. I really, like I said, I really and truly appreciate the respect that I get. Good evening. This is Al. Mm, don't blame you. I'd have hung up too. It's funny every time I get a call from a bill collector. I say, poor fella or lady. Maybe he or she should have finished school to get a better job because that bill collecting just ain't working for you. Here's the thing: when somebody calls you, instead of saying hello, which starts the conversation, just say your name. This is this is Al. It confuses them because what most people say hello when they answer the phone, right? Just say your name. Hello, this is James. You only had to say your name. Say anybody's name. You know, or just say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and it throws them off every time. Lamont Brown told me you all are related. Did he really? The Soul Pole left Chicago, so there's really no reason to visit, even if your dad says he's best buddies with him. Hey, Troy. Troy the heckler, of course. You know, at every comedy show, there's got to be a heckler that wishes he were on stage, and that person is Troy. Lamont Brown told me that we are related. Mm, that's cute. I haven't heard from Lamont in I don't know how long. But if he wants to be related to me, so be it. Let him be related to me. I don't know why, but okay. Let him be related to me. If it makes him feel better. So anyway, um, this Saturday I will be at Fitzgerald's, which is in Berwyn on Roosevelt Road. I'll be hosting a show for Mr. Mark Clay, the son of Otis Clay. It will be a tribute to his legendary father. So if you aren't doing anything, I'll put your name on the guest list. You just come on, walk in with me. Okay, cool, cool. That will work. And of course, Mark promised that I could play the drums with him. We'll see what happens. We will see. We will see. But that ought to be interesting because outside of who did I play with? Oh, the Soul Click band, Super Percy. I played with his band a few weeks ago. Or was it last Saturday before last when I was outside doing another outside event? I got a chance to play the drums with the Soul Click band, and Super Percy said, "Hey man, how long you been playing drums? Since high school?" Yeah, since high school, and that was it. Never tried to get my number or anything, just in case he needed a backup drummer. Well, I don't have a set of drums, so Ronnie, what's going on? Babyface, babyface. So Beyonce is removing Lizzo from her remix of "Break My Soul." How's she gonna do that? And we done bought copies of it on whatever Spotify. And is she gonna remove it? Like really? Mm-mm. Just finished up with DJ Reg. Kenneth Brian Edmonds, aka Babyface. And every time I close my eyes, I dream of you. Mm-mm-mm. That used to be the case back in the day when I was still pining over my wife. Every time I would, go to bed at night, before I would go to sleep, after I would say my prayers, I said, Lord, thank you for this day that you've given me. And every day before it, continue to bless me, my family, my friends, my coworkers, and my students. Continue to bless them from the crown of their heads to the soles of their feet. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. I would roll over and go to sleep And I would say, honey, here I come, because I know I'm going to see you in my dreams. I just stopped doing that. I just stopped doing that. Why? Well, I just prayed for her, my family, my friends, my coworkers, my students, those closest to me. So I prayed for her. So that's why she's still around, you know. And of course, we're still cordial to each other. A lot of people when they, get separated, divorced, whatever, they're not cordial with each other because they just can't stand each other. That's not the case. Well, not the case with me. Maybe she can't stand me, but I got nothing but love for you, baby. She knows that too. Yeah. Of course, we got children together. I can't hate the mama of my children. Here's Tony, the first of two in a row. Lay your head on my pillow on Bedtime Stories. Mm, mm, thanks. Mm, moon. Girl, it's about to get nasty. Why is it about to get nasty? Why, Raphael? Why? It's about to get nasty. Mm-mm. Mm. Anyway, so I went to get a hoagie tonight for dinner. Unfortunately, there were people standing outside. I knew what that was all about. So, of course, afterwards, I said, okay, well, let me go to my second choice, which is Subway. Same kind of bread, same kind of meat, everything. They can make a hoagie for you at Subway. You just have to ask for it. You know, whether it be white meat, turkey, that's to me that's still a hoagie. You know, the only thing is they don't put mayonnaise on hoagies. They just put the oregano and the oil and everything else, and that's it. So instead, I got my famous tuna sandwich. Um, yeah, big tuna sandwich, foot long tuna sandwich. So of course, I ate half for lunch, half for dinner, and then the other half later on, or maybe tomorrow, and that's it. Mhm. Cool thing is, I made it through the week. I made it. You know, never thought I was gonna make it, but I did. But not I know it's not the same as Taurus flavors. Subway is one thing, and then yeah, Taurus and what's the other place? The hoagie place. Two different places. So that's about it. But yeah, the line was around the corner to get a hoagie or a steak sandwich or whichever. I don't even think they sell too much ice cream these days. I remember when I was a kid. Why did you never thought you'd make it this week? Um, well, some of us live paycheck to paycheck. So some weeks, especially the week that I pay my rent, it's like, okay, I'm done for the week. Okay. So if I have anything left, then that is to live off of the rest of the week. Of course, I don't have really big bills. The biggest bill, of course, is the rent. Phone bill is about 150 a month. Utilities, you know, light bill. I don't have a gas bill. They keep sending me one, but it's like I don't have any gas. Um, and of course, AT&T, which is like $55 a month. So I'm gonna try to get it down even more. But otherwise, it's all good. You know, with the three jobs that I have, it gets taken care of. But some weeks, it's kind of slim pickings. So that's why. I know the struggle, homie. I wasn't sure if you meant mentally. No, mentally, I'm good. You know, even with what's happening at work, people putting in their 2 weeks notice. I'm like, can y'all just stay until September? And some people are like, nah, we need to get out now. It's like, okay, I understand. You know, yeah. Some people, when they're gone, they're gone. When you put in your 2 weeks notice, your mind is like, I'm out of here. So what are they going to do? Fire me before my 2 weeks is over? So, because before I left tonight, all right, 7 jobs. Yeah, I stand corrected. Do you think buying a house is a scam? Because the more I think about it, hmm, buying a house, they say it's cheaper to pay a mortgage than it is to pay for an apartment. Yes and no. If there's more than one of you moving into a house, then yes, it's cheaper. Even with an apartment, if the two of you all are sharing an apartment, say a 2 bedroom apartment or whatever, then, you know, but when you get a house and you're by yourself, you have to factor in all of the utilities. Every year you have to play or pay property taxes. So, what's up, John? I had, well, yeah, once it's paid off, then it's yours. I had these commercials about, stop paying your landlord all this money and own your own home. I'm like, okay, yeah, unless you're making enough money to cover those expenses. Once a year there's a property tax that you have to pay. Your a mortgage could be like anywhere between $600 and $800, which is the price of a 2 bedroom apartment in some neighborhoods. I get that. But then on top of that, you have to pay, you know, um, for electricity. If you have central air, um, that's a bill too. To heat your house, that's a gas bill. You know, my gas is included in my rent. That's it. My water bill is included in my rent. If I have a house and I have a water bill, I have a gas bill, I have a light bill, I have you know, um, and of course, paying the assessment every year, which is anywhere from 1,200 to 2 grand every year. So unless you write it off on taxes, then you get that money back. But you have to wait until after you paid your taxes. You have to pay that first and then wait and get the money back. So it is cheaper for 2 people to go into a house than just one person saying, "Oh, I'm going to get a house and I don't have no man, I don't have no woman." Apartment is fine for me. This is a 2-bedroom apartment and it's big as hell, you know. So that's it. D-Ron, what's going on? Right, you're responsible for anything that happens in the house, You know, if the plumbing goes out in there, they'll call the plumber, they'll fix it. I don't have to pay nothing. So on and so forth. So those are the things you have to look at in buying a house or renting an apartment. That's it. Hold on, son. It's bedtime stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hey, Elo. I haven't seen Elo on my live in a long time. She said, in the grand scheme of things, home ownership is worth it. Well, yeah, after you've paid off the house, it's always worth it. Then the bills go down afterwards, but it's until you paid everything off first, then it's worth it. And then I'm looking into getting property later and charging other people rent. Here's the first of 2 in a row from After 7. This is Ready or Not on Bedtime Stories. Hey, son.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
Stranded.
Stranded where?
Oh, yeah.
Joliet. Okay.
I found the toll company. I got most of the money go to it, so
And I don't get paid till Friday. I don't have any money on me. I just sent Brianna to Florida for the Disney World.
okay.
So I won't have nothing until Friday.
That's cool. I'll just call them
Okay.
around. I appreciate you, man.
All right. What is he doing in Joliet anyway? And I hate stuff like that. Normally, I have money. It's like what you need, send it off. That's it. So, but anyway, but like Ronnie was saying, the repairs you are responsible for. Like, for instance, if your heating unit breaks down or your air conditioner unit, you have to pay out of pocket for that. With me, I call the landlord, hey, it's not warm enough in here, turn up the heat. That's it. In the wintertime, I'm only in 2 different rooms anyway. I'm either in the front room or the bedroom or back here. Well, that's 3. So, and it's not so bad. I mean, yeah, it gets cold in here, but at the end of the day, once they, turn on those radiators, then it's decent in here. Of course, in the summertime, I'm running the AC. I got a little AC unit which sits in the front. That's it. It's not, unbearable. So, but it is what it is, and that's it. Elo said the grand scheme of things, home ownership is worth it. Once again, if you're making that kind of money and you don't have any immediate house repairs to make, then everything is fine. Everything is cool. You got that good government job, so you're making, a decent amount of money where you don't have to worry about that stuff. So, you know, but anyway, it is what it is. And it all depends on what you can or can't afford. You know, I always said I was gonna get a house big enough and put all my kids in the house and put a sign outside saying no baby mamas allowed. Well, all my children are grown now and they have their own places. Brianna's got her apartment. Larice, she's in South Korea and so on and so forth. So, you know, yep, you got to do what you got to do. That's exactly right. You know, it ain't for everybody. Home ownership. My nephew, he's like, "Oh, Unc, you need to get a house." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Well, who takes care of your repairs if something happens to your house?" He said, "Well, I do." I said, "Something happened to my house. If I punch a hole in the wall, I call the landlord, tell him I punched a hole in the wall. I won't tell him I punched a hole in the wall. You know, tell him he needs to get somebody over here to fix the wall, and that's it. He might take it out of my rent, but what's $100 just to put some plaster over a hole in the wall? Um, the plumbing, the water doesn't go all the way down in either the face bowl, uh, the toilet, or the shower. It's like, hey, that comes out of his pocket or my rent, whichever. And that's it. When you have a house, you got to call a plumber. You got to wait all day for the plumber to get there. Me, I go to work. I tell my landlord, hey, get in my apartment, fix my plumbing. That's it. It's done. You know, I haven't chimed in lately, but I'm always watching your live. Thank you, Elo. I know. I know you do. Because I know you use my voice to go to sleep, too. So, yeah. Yeah, get charged an hourly rate. You're right, Ronnie. Yeah. But, I used to watch my mother. She would sit at the kitchen table and she would write out checks for everything, for the light bill, for the gas bill. And she would sit there and write those checks out. That's old school. That's like, Mom, they got this thing where you can pay all the stuff online. You just deducts the money from the account. She said, I don't trust that. She writes the checks out, puts them in the envelopes, and hands them to the mailman. That was her. When she passed, she had A1 credit. Her and Daddy had A1 credit. She paid them on time. She'd sit there with both of their checks, and she would write out the ledger, yeah. She balanced that checkbook like a mug. Go to University Bank, drop the checks off in the bank, and everything was cool. Nothing bounced, none of that stuff. Yep. Mama had every credit card you could imagine. They're like, here's your new credit card, Mrs. Greer. She get the credit card bill and pay it off. Not the minimum, $25 a month. She pay it off. Credit went up and up and up. That's why she was able to draw money to get my black ass out of jail. Because she had that. She had money in reserve. She had money stacked. She had money put away. You know, she could borrow money against the house and would pay it back. I took her to go get her taxes done. They said, well, you know, you could pay it in installments. She said, no. She wrote out the check. Okay. I'm like, I want to be like you when I grow up. But, you know, we had a guy that would come, you know, and fix the plumbing, Mr. Bonaparte. He would come and, you know, work on the plumbing and everything. But see, that was old school. We lived next door to a guy that did. He was a carpenter. He fixed our basement, everything. He put my room in the basement. I had my own little studio in the crib. Tune her up from After 7. That is Baby I'm For Real, which features a little bit of Natural High from Bloodstone right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. Anyway, what is this, Troy? What is this madness you posted once again? No, I think this story is bull. Black guys don't go to jail. Look at O.J. Simpson. Yeah, okay. Once again, hello to Elo, who's listening right now in Minnesota. She always gets me some of the nicest gifts. I wish I could show. Well, I can show you one of them. But of course, some of you all are not watching me on Facebook right now. I'm going to put this up to the camera. This, of course, is the Prince symbol. Well, on the Prince symbol, it has all of his songs. Diamonds and Pearls, Graffiti Bridge, For You, Parade, Scandalous, Dirty Mind, Sign of the Times, Around the World in a Day. And, of course, it sits on my wall. She knows that we both love Prince. We would talk about Prince as if we actually knew him. You know, like we would sit around and, you know, what was your favorite era of Prince? Oh, you know, before he got really popular with other people. Like, yeah, that's when I liked him. Yeah, he was kind of cool then. But it's like everything after Controversy, he got more and more commercial. And the music changed, and he changed with the times, and, you know, the different hairstyles and everything else, you know. But he was just as cool as he wanted to be. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories with Ashford and Simpson. Is it still good to you? Well, is it? Just let me know. Been a long time. I miss you, Elo. Low, 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 low. Yeah. I'll hang my Prince symbol back up later. I'll hang it back later. Yep. I still have my mug. And of course, I still have this. My scarf or whatever. Yeah. Our allegiance to Prince is just ridiculous. I don't know if anybody else. There's a young lady at work. She has a tattoo of Prince right at the bottom of her, the back of her neck. She has the symbol, and I'm like, girl, what you know about Prince? She's only 27 years old. What do you know about Prince? She says, Uncle Al, I know he's one of the greatest entertainers that ever lived. I said, oh, you know that. You know. I said, you know I've been to his house, right? You've been to his house? Yeah. Went to Paisley Park. Plan to go back. Elo, she's a frequent guest, you know, at Paisley. Because well, she lives there, so you know. But boy, I remember back in the day when Prince first came out, he had one song and that was Soft and Wet. They used to play or not play it on the radio, on VON back in the day. Joe Cobb would play it at the same time every morning when I was getting up to go to school. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I finally saw what Prince looked like. I'm like, and at that time, I was going with this young lady by the name of Rhonda. Well, Rhonda was crazy about Prince. You know, the second album had a complete fold out of him, and he's in the shower with a crucifix on the wall in the shower. I'm like, what kind of crazy stuff is that? You like this guy? Prince came to Chicago, and I think it was 80, 81, something like that. It was the Controversy Tour. She wanted to go. I'm like, I don't want to see Prince. She said, if you love me, you'll take me to go see Prince. I wasn't driving at the time, so my mom ended up taking the two of us to go see Prince at the Erie Crown. I went to the Erie Crown kicking and screaming. I'm like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see it. I don't. The opening act was a 3-woman group called Vanity Six. That was number one. The curtain opens and the people that were playing behind Vanity Six was a group called The Time. This was before Morris Day got top billing. I was like, okay, I like him. He's cool. But this Prince guy, I'm not looking forward to his performance. They set up his whole, as the kids say, his whole you dig. You know, it was like he had like a second floor. It looked like a play, looked like a Tyler Perry play. Like he had an upstairs and he had a pole that he would swing down and he had a bed and it was like, what is he about to do? And he comes out, long coat, looked like he had on leggings and high heels and everything else and makeup. And I'm like, he better know how to sing. From that day on, I was a Prince fan. The whole gang. Prince, Vanity, Morris, Jesse, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Monty Moore, Jelly Bean, and of course, who can forget Jerome? When Jerome brought out that mirror, it was like the place lit up. It was like, what is this mirror thing? And this was long before Purple Rain. They only had one album out, and that was Cool. So they did all the cuts from Cool, and that was it. You know, but two very good bands. Now, usually, you know, the opening act is like, they're okay. The opening act is, it's all right. But I'm like, so he's gonna top them? Because I'm like, well, damn, that Morris's band is tight. How can he compete with this little? And he came out and he whipped into, some of the newer songs that were to come. You know, he whipped through Dirty Mind and the first albums. He did Soft and Wet. He did this. He did Controversy. You know, he just Do Me Baby just ran through him. I was like, damn, it's a bad little man. Yeah. He was one of the greatest performers I'd ever seen. And ever since then, whenever he was in Chicago, I try to go see him. United Center, Erie Crown, you name it, I was there. Force MDs and tears. Your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to John Caldwell, aka Bassman John. He's got so many pages, I'll tell you. I guess if I got hacked that many times, I would have a whole bunch of pages as well. Anyway, your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, on this Wednesday. Normally, I don't call out the days because on Thursday is a rerun of my show, so I never know when this show is going to run. So let's just say it's the weekend show, okay? Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. 4 songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. John and I were talking about, and of course, Elo, talking about Prince. He says the Musicology Tour was his first Prince concert. Well, John, Pamela, hello. My first concert was the Controversy Tour with Prince. This was long before Purple Rain. And of course, ever since then, I saw him at the United Center, the Rosemont Horizon. Yeah, that's when it was called, the Rosemont Horizon. The Park West. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's when I saw Prince. Erie Crown Theater. So you went to see him towards the end. I saw him from the beginning, but yeah, the Rosemont Horizon, which became the Donald Stevens, you did there. But man, talk about a performer. He would, start out on the guitar and then he would rip into the keyboards and jump off the speakers. I guess that's how he injured himself. But he gave, man, it was like watching Little Richard, James Brown, and Jackie Wilson all on stage at once. I swear. It's bad, man. We're going to play some Prince later on. Right now, here's George Benson's Kisses in the Moonlight on Bedtime Stories. Yep. I saw him, I think it was, Park West. Yeah. At the Park West. But talk about a performer, it's like he had taken a little bit out of a little bit from everybody that he'd ever seen, with an emphasis on James Brown. Like I said, James Brown, Little Richard, Jackie Wilson, all wrapped up into one. Just a dynamo. Yeah. I mean, just crazy. Like, wow. Is this, I'm about to cuss. I'm like, does this little Negro ever get tired? Mm-mm. It was like watching one of those, uh, watching one of Denzel's movies. It holds you to the end, and then at the end, when he gets shot, they shoot up the MC, and it's like, oh man, great performance. He gets shot at the end. That's a Prince concert. It's like, oh, great performance. He don't die though. But I wished that I had gotten a chance to sit down with him, not for an interview or anything, just a conversation with him. I see all of um, his old interviews. Tavis Smiley, he was on the Tonight Show 2 nights in a row, which is unprecedented. 2 nights in a row for Prince. And of course, to top it all off, when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and played alongside Danny Harrison, the son of George Harrison, um, Jeff Lynne of ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. Um, who was the other guy? Good Lord. Well, all of those heavy hitters, rock gods and sons of rock gods. And there is this little man with this big old hat on and this long coat, looking like the smallest pimp ever. And he rips through this solo, this 21-minute solo, while my guitar gently weeps. I was like, they cut the camera right to show the other guys. It was Prince, and then it was the other guys. They had started the song, while my guitar gently weeps. And all of a sudden, Prince jumps up on stage. They cut to Prince. He pulls out that Telecaster knockoff that he always played. And he rips into this 21-minute solo while they're all looking, The look on George Harrison's son's face was like, yeah, y'all ain't know. Y'all didn't. I knew. I don't know why y'all didn't know. I mean, Tom Petty. That's who I was trying to think of. Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne of ELO. And they just all looking like this little mother. Yep, he woo! He smoked all of y'all. And he knew it. He knew it. He knew he was just leaving them in the dust. And he finished the song and he took that guitar and threw it in the air and it disappeared. He walked off stage. He pimped off stage. Like, now what? He never shook hands with the guys or anything. It was just like, I came to play. I did what I was supposed to do. I came, I played, and he made history that night. Nobody does that. They've had like different, they remixed the video to do like a cut between the other guys and Prince. They call it the director's cut. Like, while they're just looking like, he's pretty good, guys. Who knew? Did you know, Danny? Well, I didn't know you did. Well, yeah, I did. So, he cut him. One of his other performances, what was it? Oh, The halftime show at the Super Bowl, he ripped into Purple Rain and it started raining. You can't make this up. You just can't. He ripped into Purple Rain and it started raining. For real. Did he stop singing? No. You know, came time for that solo. The Purple Rain. I'm like, you just a bad. That's all. That's all I gotta say. You know. You thought Chaff was a bad mother, shut your mouth. We talking about Prince. We can dig it. I just wish that I had had a conversation with him. You know, I didn't even need to tape a conversation with him. I just wanted to talk to him. You know. Like I said, I saw him on Jay Leno. And Jay talked about Mariah Carey when she signed her contract with Virgin Records. And Prince broke it down. Says we get like, what, 12, 15 cents a record. You know, and the record company gets the rest. Prince said, I think she got screwed. Said it on the air. Prince said, if you don't own your masters, then the master owns you. You know. That's just the way he was. And he knew firsthand that the master owned him. He said all the songs that he made, you know, from Soft and Wet to Around the World in a Day. You know, all those sessions, you know, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning sessions. And he's just playing for Warner Brothers. Not for himself, but, you know, because once the music was done, he'd turn it over to them. They're like, thank you. The trade-off was that they helped build Paisley Park so they could record 24 hours. And he thought, oh, well, this is great. I don't have to pay for studio time because I'm in the studio all the time. When you don't own your masters, then the master owns you. So he got smart and he built this vault and he started putting reels and stuff in the vault, you know, finished and unfinished. Of course, at the end of the day, Warner Brothers owned it too. And everything in Paisley. Because they helped build Paisley, or they built it so that he could continue to make music and have a place to stay. Oh my. And then the computer went blank. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime. I don't know what just went gone. Am I even still on the air? What just happened here? Everything went out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, I don't know what just happened here. I don't see any meters moving. I don't see anything moving. What just happened here? All right. Okay, here we go. All right. Are we back on yet? I think we are. Yes, I'm pretty sure we are. Okay. I don't know what just happened, but my computer stopped. My board went out. I guess it's just hot in here. Explain the symbol. Okay, that's easy. It's a combination of male and female. Prince, if you ever saw the interview that he did with Oprah, he feels like there were two people inside of him. Of course, he was a Gemini. So he felt like there were two people inside of him. So, okay. All right. His alter ego was named Camille. He actually did some songs on Camille that he intended to release a whole album. Uh, Prince presents Camille. Unfortunately, at the last minute, he said, no, that may not be a good idea. So he held back. And instead of doing the Camille album, he did Love Sexy and used some of those songs on there. Some of those songs also appeared on Sign of the Times. If I Were Your Girlfriend was one of the songs, which he did in a falsetto but sped up. So he pretty much pitched his voice up so it would sound like a female. So that was it. So, but anyway, the symbol, of course, is a male female symbol. So he was really into his feminine side, as you could probably tell by the eye makeup. Yeah, he wore a lot of pancake and a little this and a little of that, but it was, I guess, an ode to Little Richard because Little Richard wore pancake makeup and eyeliner and the whole thing, which made his eyes really pop on stage. So, and of course, the ladies really loved it. I mean, ladies, how many guys do you know that are 5 feet tall, wore makeup and heels? the whole you did, yeah. That was him. That was Prince. Anyway, now that my computer's back on, you are. It says keep your what? My USB is in there. I guess the computer just got warm. Yeah. Sooner or later, I'm just gonna have to open up a window. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Anyway, Bedtime Stories is sponsored by our good friends over at Grubhub. At Grubhub. That's where you play. All right. Here we go. Get out of that. All right. Oh, okay, cool. Yep, skip that connection. And play the Grubhub commercial. Right now. Here it comes. The computer's just too hot. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just keep talking. Anyway, it's doing a little crazy thing. What is this? I did that the other night. I don't know why, but okay. All right. It's going to the internet. Anyway, hello to Pat Westbrook. Thank you for being on my live as I fumble with my computer. You know, Richard used to say, one of these days, all the computers are going to go on a sabbatical, all of them together. I said, okay, Uncle Richard, I kind of believe him now. So I think my computer is going on a little vacation right now. But anyway, I'm going to keep trying because I am no quitter. No, I'm not. Anyway, speaking of Richard Pegee, recently on the 29th would have been his, I believe, 80th birthday. Richard was one of those people that knew everything about everything, and he tried to pretty much show me as much as he could in his lifetime. A lot of the stuff had to do with doing production, you know, the making of commercials, putting together commercials. And it's interesting because a lot of times when I'm, you know, at work doing commercials, it's like I have no idea as to what it's going to sound like. And I feel like his spirit is guiding my hand a lot of times when I'm coming up with these ideas for these commercials and how to present them and how to, you know, put them together, putting the music behind it. I said, oh, this music would sound good behind this commercial. Don't know what I'm doing, but of course, production has a lot to do with being creative. You do the script, you record the script and everything else, and then you put the music behind it later on. And usually, 9 times out of 10, it comes out and it sounds pretty good. So, but big ups to Richard McGee, Pat Westbrook, who is on my live right now. Got a chance to work with Richard over at WJPC back in the day, and probably knew him long before I did. Because when I met Richard, I was at WLTH out in Gary, Indiana. I was the production slash operations manager. I wore many hats out there, as he did as well. And one day he came to the radio station. I guess he had been listening to the commercials that I was doing. And he walked into the studio and he said, "I need you on some of my spots." I said, "What? First of all, who are you?" You know, I should have known that he was Richard McGee, right? Because, he was who he was. And he said, "I need you to do some commercials for me." I said, "Okay." So he told me where his studio was, right? Well, his studio was at 23rd and Michigan, which of course is no more. It was PS Recording Studios. And that was it. From there, I did a lot of commercials for him, and never looked back. Never looked back. Anyway, all right. Now, with that in mind, let's play some music. Here's Mr. Barry White. Don't Play Games on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and WRLNradio.com. Okay, now I'm going to go to the bathroom. So, to make a long story short, was I intimidated? Yes, I was. It was the first time that I'd ever, did any commercials for anyone else besides the people at the radio station. So I was like, okay, how was that, sir? He said, you're pretty good. I need to work on you. And one day I went to a studio and he asked me how my falsetto was. Falsetto? What, you want me to sing? So, yeah. Richard had me singing. So that was it. So, and the rest, as they say, was history. Because every time he needed a commercial done, I was the go-to person, or one of the go-to persons. The other was Paul Morgan. So that was it. So that was it. That was all. and worked with him to the very end. Yep, worked with him to the very end. And as the rest, they say, was history. I became one of his, I guess, sidemen. He was the if there was a singing group, he was the lead singer, and all of us, PJ, Lamont, Ray, we were all the sidemen. So that was it. You know, but he and of course Maurice too, Maurice King. But there was something that he taught us all, and it stuck with a few of them and not everybody. He said, whenever you go into a meeting, always wear a tie. If you don't wear anything else, wear a tie. He said, a tie is power. You know, you have to play their game. You have to go in there and play their game, meaning the white folks. You had to play their game. So he said, and that was it. You know, come dressed. You know, come dressed to go to battle, and that was it. You know, Richard used to have money stashed around the house in baby jars. I don't know if you remember that, Pat. You know, just money just rolled up in these baby jars, you know, baby food jars. It's like, wow. I'm like, for real? For real, for real. Baby food jars. Money just rolled up in there. I couldn't believe it. You know, one day my car got booted in front of his house. He said, call them, find out how much it was or how much it is. It was $330. I'll never forget it. He went to one of those baby food jars. He pulled out 300 and some odd dollars. He took me, went to go get my car, and that was it. He said, you owe me. I said, well, you know I don't have the money right now. I'll pay you on my next paycheck. He said, no, you'll just do commercials for me. Okay, until you paid off $300. Okay. Richard always had a way of getting something from you that he needed, and you getting something from him that you needed. It was called bartering. He was the best barterer that I knew. He was the best barterer of all the people that I ever met. That was it. If you needed something that he had, hey, let's work it out. You need this, I need something from you. Now, if he didn't have anything to do with you, then he didn't have nothing to do with you. You didn't have anything to give him, then go on about your long head. And that was it. But, you know, I remember getting a car, not for me, but for PJ Willis. I'm putting PJ's business in the street right now. Harvey Chrysler Plymouth was one of his clients who advertised on his show at night on Saturday nights. They had this little piece of station wagon on his lot. He said, "How much for the station wagon?" Okay, cool. Write it up. Wrote it up. PJ got in it and drove it off the lot. And that was it. That's how Richard was. If you needed something, he got it for you. If he needed something out of you, you owed him. You owed it to him because he got you something that you would not have been able to get on your own. That was him. He could be, and Pat will attest to this, he could be the nicest guy in the world. He could be the worst a-hole ever. As long as you were on the right side of him. As long as you were on his right side, even though he's left-handed, as long as you're on the right side, you were okay. You were all right with him. And that was it. Ah. Patricia. For years, he was part of the group Earth, Wind, and Fire. That is Philip Bailey and Children of the Ghetto when he decided he was going to do some solo stuff. Sounded good, though. Sounded very good. Of course, he still sounded like he was doing, a thing with Earth, Wind, and Fire, but great music. Well, you can't not work for Maurice White and not be prolific in your writing because, he elevated their minds and everything. Yep. And of course, he had a strict no drugs policy. No drugs. Yep. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. I finally got my computer fixed. As you knew I would, right? Recorded in Philadelphia, Sigma Sound Studios with MFSB. Here's Denise Williams. It's gonna take a miracle, baby. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Uh. Uh. Mm-mm-mm. We go. It's gonna take a miracle. Mm-mm. Good for you. Mm-mm. A miracle. It's gonna take a miracle.
You see right now, y'all not gonna be satisfied.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's gonna take a miracle.
As a trans man. Can I have those shoes? In some sense, it upsets me that I can't physically carry a child, but my husband can. Well, we're gonna have the conversation with our kid about us being trans. Well, from the time that she's born, we're gonna expose her to diversity and let her know that families come in all shapes and sizes. I'm Precious. This is my husband, Miles, and he's pregnant. Popped. The masculine version of pregnant. We're having a baby. Oh, that's so cool. Miles and I are a trans family. I'm Precious. This is my husband. I identify as a trans woman, and Miles identifies as a trans man. Can I have those shoes? In some sense, it upsets me that I can't physically carry a child, but my husband can.
Well, we gotta have the conversation with our kid about us being trans.
From the time that she's born, we're going to expose her to diversity and let her know that families come in all shapes and sizes. Can you see my balls are big and salty and brown?
Oh my. Are we still here? Where is everybody? I know John is, I'm not John. Yeah, John is still here. And of course, Troy. So my my grandchildren are down in Disney World. How about that? I can't afford to go to Gary, but they're in Disney World. And that's nice. I'm happy for them. Maybe one day they'll will me into Disney World before before I'm gone. Not my whole name. Brianna Chantel. Mm-mm. Happy birthday, baby. I was waiting for you to come on my live. Happy birthday. Whitney Houston. Just the Lonely Talking Again, originally done by the Manhattans. Whitney Houston. Happy birthday to my daughter Brianna. She said, "You haven't told me happy birthday." Well, I thought you were having too much fun down in Florida, so I didn't want to bother you. But happy birthday to you, my sweet. Daddy loves you. You know that. We haven't gotten a phone call or anything. Well, you all have been busy. You're on vacation. I don't bother anybody when they're on vacation. I figured it is a long, deserved vacation in Disney World, and that's it. Not to be, put your phone on do not disturb. And that's it. I thought, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, well, happy birthday, Brianna. Hope you all are having a ball down there in Mickey World. My daddy didn't call me. I almost cried. Oh, Lord. She is so dramatic, y'all. You are in Florida. I can't afford to go to Gary. You are in Florida. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, we'll have a party or we'll go out when you get back home. All right? A few years ago, they did an album dedicated to Marvin Gaye. They called it Marvin at 60, and everybody took turns doing their favorite Marvin Gaye song. Here's Will Downing. You show love to Ball on Bedtime Stories. I love you too, Bree. Boy, that couldn't have been timed better, right? You all go down to Florida on your birthday with the kids. So, but sounds like you guys are having a ball. So when you come home, we'll go out and your husband will watch the kids. We'll just go out, just the two of us. No kids, no husband, no mama, none of that stuff. So just you and me. Cool, cool. They're having fun. Well, yeah, I know they're having fun. I'd be having fun too if I were their age and in Disney World. I'd be having a ball. How cool is that? Not many people get that, excuse me, that opportunity in their lives to go to Disney World, Disneyland, Disney anything. That is just, wow. That is just great. Yeah. Naomi said, you got to take her. Okay, well, the two of you all can come to dinner. Now, we're going to have to bring everybody because, of course, you are the little one's source of food. So, yeah. But it's your call. When you get home, we got a date, okay? And I know, right? So I will take Naomi. Of course, I got to take her. No way I cannot take her, right? Mm-mm. That is Pawpaw's baby. I don't care what nobody says. No uncles, no cousins. I'm the pawpaw. That's it. She said, "Yeah, date with pawpaw." That's right. Nobody else. You are Papa's baby forever. Yeah. Yep. I believe when I get to a certain age that Naomi is going to take care of me. She's going to be my sole what do they call it? Caretaker. Yep. She says, I miss you, Papa. I miss you too, Bree and Naomi. In my phone, I have loads of pictures. Half the pictures in my phone are of Naomi. Yep. All of her baby pictures are in my phone. Just about all of them, from the time she came out until to now. You know, I got more pictures in there than her grandmother. Believe that. So, yeah, pictures of her at when I had the radio station on 79th Street, when we were at Chef Sarah's. It just goes on and on. We went to Social Security place, and she pretended like she was driving the truck when I had the avalanche. Yeah, just bunches of pictures. I just was phone crazy with her. Yep, yep, just phone crazy. Mm-mm-mm. No. Right now, right now. That has got to be one of my favorites. One of my favorite whisper songs. It's hard to tell which one I'm going to play. Which one I like the most. Come on home to me. I like that the part where they just say, just come on home. Just come on home. I'm gonna I'm gonna leave the porch light on for you. That way, when you climb the steps, you won't trip up the steps. Plus, I have one of those motion sensor lights. So, whenever you want to, hey, come on home. You know, come on home. That's right. Bring all the TVs. We'll have like 6 TVs up in there, or 12 TVs, whatever. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This gentleman hails from Galveston, Texas. He made his move to Los Angeles because he wanted to get into the radio business. But before he did that, he was in the business of taking hubcaps off of Cadillacs. Excuse me. I guess those hubcaps must have been worth a lot of money back then. I cannot see taking hubcaps off of a Cadillac, but that's what he did. And he did a little time. And while sitting in solitaire, he heard the song by Elvis Presley, It's Now or Never. So when he got out, he walked all the way from wherever he was locked up, all the way back to Los Angeles, and became a record producer, a singer, a writer, and arranger. Not bad for somebody who couldn't even read music. It's Barry White. Mm, 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 mm. Listen to that. Sing it, Barry. Girl, I'll always love. Oh, Lord. Sing, Barry. So much junk back here. I'm just looking for one thing. It's true, yeah. Ways love you. So what we gonna do for foreplay tonight? Anybody? Somebody? Anybody? Everybody scream. Iron Maiden, yeah. Maria got to clean that up next. Uh, like I said before, I've never had a man either, so I can't say how you feel. Like, okay, I'd be like, clean your own house up, mofo. I said, I'm not coming back over there till you clean up your house. But some people feel differently. They want to come over and clean up. So can't stop them from doing that, you know. And why would I, right? Yeah. Free labor. Meant to be. Girl, I'll always love. Yeah, I remember when I was at home, you know, it was like, you know, clean this place up. Okay. I'm like, this is my room. I'm not cleaning up a doggone thing. Then I got put out. Well, you know, stuff happens, right? That's the way it goes sometimes. You know, people ask me, you think that you'll ever get married again? Yeah, right. I think not. I think I am done with that. Yep. That ship has sailed, the marriage ship. Yep, that ship has definitely sailed. Yep, I am in the words of Ike Turner, I am off that narcotic. I don't need to be married to uh, validate my existence. Although it would be nice. Carl Dobbins, what's going on, sir? You know, it would be nice to have stayed in my marriage, but yeah. That's a done deal. What's going on, DJ Carl Dobbins in the house? Oh, work, my man. You and me both. Somebody somebody said, when you gonna take a day off? I'm like, and do what? No, I don't get paid if I don't go to work. Remember that week I was off when my eye was closed up? Oh yeah. Overrated marriage. Come on now. Preach, brother, preach. Ooh, they don't like that, boy. Preach, my brother. Overrated. You got that right. Mm-mm. It is definitely overrated. Now, I wished once again that I, you know, could have stayed married. But as you all know, stuff happens, and that's it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed marriage while I was in it. I did. And you can ask anybody. I bragged. Ooh boy, I bragged on my wife. Good Lord. You have to be equally yoked. You're absolutely right. And I think that may have been the biggest, you know, the biggest problem with the two of us. You know, John, John too. You know, been there, done that. Have to be equally yoked. And my parents were married at a young age. I think dad was 26 and mom was 24. Yeah, and they did it. They stayed married till death did them part, and that was it. Yolks are available for a reasonable price for the floppy disk version of Oregon Trail. Thank you, Troy. But you know, the vows are not respected. You're absolutely right, Carl. The vows are not respected, and that goes both ways. Once again, I enjoyed. The first time was just practice. That first marriage, that was just practice. Um, and like I told my second wife, I said, I've never been married before, so I don't, I only know from what I've seen, either on television or my parents agreed to disagree most of the time, even though they were equally yoked. Mom was a Capricorn, dad was a Virgo. So, but hey, it is what it is, and sometimes it ain't what it is. Brother Lenny Williams, along with Tower of Power and Willing to Learn, right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, just about, I'd say about 6 minutes away from foreplay. All my clocks have different times. One has 3 minutes in front of the hour, the other one has 5 minutes in front of the hour, and the other one is 4 minutes in front of the hour. So, all right, let me just look at my phone. Okay, the phone has 10:56 Chicago time. So we're going to go by the phone tonight, all right? All right. It's like, what's really going on? Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Alan Greer. But before we go to foreplay, for all of those who have been married, who have loved and lost, this one is for you from Marvin Gaye. Did Marvin say all the bitching too? The values and goals were similar today. And oh my goodness, the question was, what you got? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, my brother. I hear you. Let's see what we're going to do for foreplay. Oh, yeah. That is one of his masterpieces. It's 11 minutes worth. I know, right? Go on, Marvin. Just trying to be happy, baby. Just trying to be happy. From the album Hear My Dear, Marvin Gaye. Just to keep you satisfied. Mm, mm, mm. It is bedtime stories. African Fest, in the African Fest in September, sir. This weekend? Okay, I won't be there. It's not until September, right? Kind of jumping the gun there. It's usually Labor Day weekend, right? Anyway, now that we got our computer working, Bedtime Stories is sponsored by our good friends over at Grubhub. Mm-mm. It was on both. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories. You're on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis in Chicago, as well as WRLNradio.com, a radio media station. Carl Diamond's thought it was this weekend, meaning the African Fest, and John thought that Just to Keep You Satisfied was from the Let's Get It On album. You know what? It might have been on both albums because the album Here, My Dear was dedicated to Marvin's wife, his about to be divorced wife. And they said all the proceedings or all the proceeds of that song or that album would go to his wife, Anna Gordon Gay. It's like, man, I'm working for you, itch. Anyway, this group has been around as long as I've been around. And it's hard to just play 4 songs by this group because this group has been around, like I said, as long as I've been around. They started in the late 50s as a doo-wop group. They were known as the Pirates, Otis and the Siberians, the Distance. And finally, they settled on a group name that fit them. They said, we're frisky, sophisticated, and sexy, says Paul Williams. Temptations it was. Tonight we feature in foreplay, probably for the first time. Yeah. All right, John, you're right. It's not on Here, My Dear. All right. Anyway, for the first time, or maybe the second time, I don't know. The Temptations, one of America's favorite groups. This is a song for you from the album A Song for You, John. It's on that album by itself. No other album. Okay. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Okay, John, so I was wrong. I'm not usually wrong. I don't like being wrong. Oh, my Cash App is back on. Oh, my God. How did that happen? Let me hold tight before I start sending some money I don't have. Good sportsmanship. Oh, well, this is another Daddy Richard segment. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not above being corrected. I am never above being corrected. But I just see that album cover with him in stone. He's got 2 fingers up or whatever. He's, yeah. That's the album that I, that I pictured that song being on because, here, my dear. In other words, like, here's the money from the sales of this song. Like, here you go. All the money went into her bank account. How cool is that, right? Yeah. Mm-mm. How cool. I wish we had some segments of him playing music, giving the history. There is one segment that was which was done of him, but it was done prior to him having a stroke, and that's when he had the studio on 500 West. Was it Cermak? Yeah, it was on Cermak, and that's where he had it. Yeah, not the old segments. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly. But there was what was that show? It was called the what was the name of that show? Newsmakers, something makers. Hold on, I'm about to tell you right now. Let's see. Purvis Spann.
According to Wikipedia, Purvis Spann was an American broadcaster, music promoter, and radio personality.
The History Makers was the name of it. The History Makers. That was the name of the show. Yep. The History Makers. And if you go to YouTube and type in Richard McGee, you'll see some of the older stuff. But and then there's a video that was done right after he passed, which features Daddy Herb and Marv Dyson in it, and yours truly, and a young lady by the name of Kenya Simone Edwards. So. My love is true. For all my steppers out there. My love is true. It's time for some Subway. For you. Subway, eat fresh. That sounds like Ron Tyson to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Truly for you. Take my love. I'm eating Subway tonight. Eat fresh. Tuna. It's true. Yeah, yes. Tuna, more for me. He said, yes. Homemade sweet and sour meatballs over rice and veggies. Cool. Sounds good to me. Enjoy. Mhm. Truly, truly, truly for you. Got the house smelling good. Got my stomach growling. Yep, dinner at Trisha's house. Mmm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Hey, Carl, what you know about this one, man? talk to Cleo. He's in the hospital out in the suburbs somewhere. But he's suffering from dehydration, extreme dehydration, and has lost a lot of weight. So, that's not good. I said, baby, give it up. Yep, that's never a good prognosis. Trust me. You almost made me choke up my tuna.
It's foreplay inside bedtime stories with Al Greer.
Carl Dobbins' tuna salad is gross. Well, two of you all, I know not to invite the two of you all over when I make tuna salad then. More for me. I'd like to show you mine. Tuna is good for you. Tuna is good. Plenty of protein. And now it's gone. It's good and gone. You're back on, bro. I eat tuna, but not tuna salad. Well, that's right. You don't eat mayonnaise. I don't eat Miracle Whip or mayonnaise. So tuna salad, those are the ingredients of tuna salad. Ken Wildington. Love is when you smile. You know, I played so many Temptation songs I kind of lost count. Heavenly from the album 1990. Yeah. Am I right, John? This time is that the anyway? It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Wrapping up foreplay with the Temptations, America's favorite group. And I'm just scratching the surface with the Temptation songs because I didn't even play this one. Hey girl, I like your style, right here on Bedtime Stories. Hey girl, tell me. I like your style. I like your style. And rap to you a little while. I'm back.
Mercy, one of Al's gals. Hi, this is Tracy T, one of Al's gals. This is Saria, one of Al's gals. You're listening to Al Greer with Bedtime Stories.
We'll let you feel a stranger. You'll know even then. Across the crowded room. Ollie Woodson. Night after night. Run to her side. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hmm. Ooh. Love this song. It's Paulette McWilliams on my live. Hey, Paulette. And she got my name right. She was calling me Alan for a long time. We're like, just Al. But thank you for being on my live. I really appreciate it. Paulette McWilliams. Never, never let it go. I just love me some Temptations. From the album For Lovers Only, Some Enchanted Evening, featuring Mr. Ollie Woodson, who made his transition a few years ago, but not without leaving a body of music, not only with the Temptations, but as a solo artist as well. He redid Walk Away from Love, which was originally done by, uh, well, I can't say his band members because they weren't in the band at the same time, but of course, done by David Ruffin. Great version. I'm going to play that later on before I get out of here. But I would be remiss if I did not say hello to Paulette McWilliams. For those of you who don't know that name, she was the original lead singer of the group Rufus. Before Shaka Khan, her and Shaka are good friends. And a few months ago, she sent me some of her music to be played. And I was like, why aren't they playing this on these smooth jazz radio stations? I don't get it. But since you're here, Paulette, I'm going to play this one. This is Paulette McWilliams featuring Mr. Will Downing. This is Too Hot. Now, I know they're going to be playing this one on the smooth jazz stations. And I expect to hear it on Big Corn Show on Sunday, too. Here's Too Hot from Paulette and Will on Bedtime Stories.
High school sweethearts, love was so brand new. Took the vows of man and wife, forever, for life. I remember how we made our way, a little patience, the times we prayed. Can't imagine that this love is through. Feeling girl, love so good is too hot, lady. Too hot for shelter.
Gotta run for shade.
It's too hot, baby.
The mess we made so long ago. You were my love, oh my love.
Flying high, we never took the time to
Stop.
and feel the need. Funny how those years go by, changing you, changing me. I remember love, Stephen, giving our hearts, girl, and in our minds, baby. I can't imagine that this love is through. Feeling the pain when you lose. Oh, it's too hot, baby.
Come on, girl.
I gotta run for shelter. I gotta run for shade. Oh, it's too hot, baby. Too hot, baby. What a mess we made so long ago. You were my love. I remember love's fever. Yeah, when I was girl. And when I was, yeah. Can't imagine that this love is through. Feel every pain when you lose. It's
Too high.
too hot, baby. I gotta run for shelter. I gotta run for shade.
Go on, girl. From my love.
It's the show designed with the lovers in mind. Bedtime stories.
Well, I'm not through
with
yet.
Al Greer.
I ain't through yet. Bobby Caldwell.
Go to my head and you linger like a haunting refrain, and I find you spinning round in my brain like the bubbles in a glass of champagne.
Bobby Caldwell.
Go to my head like the scent of sparkling burgundy brew. And I find the very mention of you like the kicker in a julep or two. Through the fire that you might give a thought to my plea, cast your spell over me. Still I say to myself, get a hold of yourself. Can you see that it never will be? You go to my head with a smile that makes my temperature rise, like a summer with a thousand Julys. You intoxicate my soul with your eyes.
Woo!
Though I'm certain that this heart of mine hasn't the ghost of a chance in this crazy romance. You go to my head. Of the thought that you might give a thought to my plea, cast a spell So I say to myself, get a hold of yourself. Can't you see it never can be? You go to my head with a smile that makes my temperature rise like the summer of 1,000 Julys. You intoxicate my soul.
Woo! Come on, girl.
With your eyes. I'm certain that this heart of mine hasn't a ghost of a chance in this crazy romance. You go to my head.
Don't get no better than that. Paulette McWilliams, Bobby Caldwell, the late Bobby Caldwell. You Go to My Head, which is a jazz classic. I tell you, I am so glad I answered the phone that day. I remember being at the station. This was a few months ago. It was still cold outside, and the phone rang. And there was this young lady looking for the next person who was going to be on the air. And you're welcome, Paulette. I don't think that person ever got in contact with Miss McWilliams, but I'm glad I was there that day to pick up the phone. And the lady, the person on the other end of the phone said, "My name is Paulette McWilliams," as if, like, oh, this is Shaka Khan. Okay, all right, well, okay, all right. But I was like, wow, Paulette McWilliams calling this radio station. I said, "Ma'am, do I have permission to keep your number?" She said, "Yes." She said, "Do I have permission to send you my music?" I said, "Absolutely." And I can't wait to see you face to face. Paulette McWilliams, who sang on almost every album that Luther ever did, from the beginning almost to the end. She also sang with Quincy Jones on the Mellow Madness album. I mean, it just goes on and on. Fantastic voice. And I'm going to keep playing our music. I'm going to make her popular all over again. Paulette McWilliams, along with Bobby Caldwell. And the song before that, Will Downing and Too Hot, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And by the way, Chicago is home to Paulette McWilliams. And of course, this group. Here's Earth, Wind, and Fire featuring Philip Bailey on the lead. We write a song for you on Bedtime Stories. I thirst but never quench. Paulette McWilliams, man, woo. My my mother always said, you just keep living well and good things will happen for you. She said, don't treat people badly and good things will happen. And one of the best things to happen in my career is that I got a chance to talk to Paulette McWilliams. She let me keep her number. She kept my number. Y'all don't understand. I've always been a fan of certain singers. Lisa Fisher, who Paulette knows, where I'm going with this. They were in a movie. At least Lisa was. Um, Something miles from stardom, something like that. I got to see Lisa perform on stage with Luther, not knowing that she was the same young lady who did the song, How Can I Ease the Pain? She came down to the radio station, 20 feet from stardom. Thank you. And I was like, this lady came down to GCI when I was there. I saw her walking towards the studio. She was walking down the hallway of the radio station. I never will forget it. No bodyguards, no nothing. She just walked down the hallway. I guess she told the bodyguards, I got this. Hell, I'm 6'2". Who's going to mess with me? And she walked through the hallway, and I looked, and my eyes almost popped out of my head. I was just stunned, like, and I couldn't say anything. I couldn't move. I was just frozen. I was like, oh my God, she is so beautiful. She is like the second coming of Phyllis Hyman. And I was like, and she saw me stunned. And you know what Lisa Fisher did to me? She said, I was like, I never will forget that. She was just, so beautiful, looking poised as if she were just floating down the hallway. And she looks at me stunned like a crazed Beatle fan. And I was like, and she said, and she stuck her tongue out and kept going. I was like, and good morning to you too. It was early morning because I remember I was doing a morning show on the AM. 20 feet from stardom. And she sang with Tina. She sang with the Rolling Stones. I mean, Luther. I'm like, why aren't these ladies up there? Lisa is, I was like, you are just, she was just so precious. I was like, oh my God. And I never got a chance to get close to her. At that point, I guess the bodyguards probably, But all I remember is her floating down the hallway, going to the studio next to me, which was GCI FM. I was on GCI AM, which was the Dusty Radio 1390 channel station. I was like, she is just, whoo, oh my God. And I saw her, at Luther's concert. She sang behind the Rolling Stones. I mean, just getting lightheaded thinking about her. She is just beautiful. It's like, wow. And I never got a second chance to meet her. And I think that had I gotten, a chance, I may have been able to, worm my way into her life. Like I did Paulette McWilliams. I wormed my way into her life. I'm like, I ain't letting you go. I let Lisa go. I let Phyllis go. I let Vesta go. I ain't letting you go, girl. I ain't letting you go. Mm-mm. You know, I know there's a little age difference. That's okay. You know. But oh my God, she is just gorgeous. Just adorable. You want to spread her on a cracker. She is just whoo, Lord. Spread her on a Ritz. Mm-mm. Ease the pain. Mm-mm. I have not, but please send it to me. I think you sent it to me already, but if not, you know, resend it. alpgreer@gmail.com. Resend it. Well, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for staying up with me, as always. I appreciate it. I really appreciate Paulette McWilliams being on my Facebook Live. This is so cool. You know, like I said, I didn't get a chance to talk to Lisa Fisher. I missed my opportunity to talk to Phyllis. And Vesta, I came so close. So, Paulette, I ain't letting you go. I'm not letting you go. Paulette McWilliams, of course. We're going to have some more of her music on my show, as well as the jazz show that I help program, and that is WNU Ray, which is my nephew station. Carl Dobbins, thank you so much. Bassman John, I appreciate you. Who else? Oh, Troy, of course. Yes, Troy. It was just only a few people here tonight, but I really appreciate it. My daughter, who's down in Disney World with the kids, having fun. I tell you, happy birthday once again, Pat Westbrook. Thank you so much, Elo. As always, I love you and I miss you. D. Ron Williams, I appreciate you being on there as well. Ronnie Williams, my son James Smith the third, thank you so much. And of course, last but not least, Trish, aka Tweet. I appreciate you all so much. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Have a great weekend, guys. Good night, Trish. I'm sure you'll be calling any minute now. Oh, baby. All right, y'all. Nighty night.